we're actually nearing the end of kind of the open house today. Most of the weapons have actually been put away already, but we still have 1919 30 caliber machine gun that would have been used as a coax machine gun, and then the bow gunner 50 caliber machine gun that would have been on top as an aircraft gun, and then the grease gun that would have been used by American tankers at the end of World War II. So every crew member would have had one of these as personal defense weapon. May of 1943 was supposed to switch from the Thompson submachine gun to the grease gun, but it took about 6 months till these start getting put on. It always takes about 6 months from the time a change was made in World War II till the time it got to theater. So grease gun, advantages over at the Thompson. The Thompson 1 was very complicated to build, very heavy, and it cost originally about 120 bucks to produce, which is over $1,000 today. Whereas this is stamp steel, 7 parts, and it costs approximately $15 to produce in 1944, which is only about 250 bucks today. Pretty simple weapon, which is why it's called a grease gun, because it looks like one. Very simple to use. The dust cover for the receiver is also the safety, so as long as it's open to fire. On the other ones, you have this charging handle, and that's ready to fire. Later ones, they even simplify it down more, where all I had to do is pull it back with your finger, but pretty simple weapon design. 45 caliber round, so it may not be super accurate, but you only have to hit someone once with it, and it's going to take them down. And then, just to kind of go talk about battle bullets, we also brought out our M9A1 bazooka, one of our solo bazookas. So believe it or not, before the Germans had Panzerfaust, we actually had bazookas first. And it was actually because of our bazookas we had Sicily that the Germans captured, they create Panzerschreck and Panzerfaust. So besides the weapons displays that we've already kind of closed down for the day as we close down, but we also have our ammunition display. So this just represents mostly what's in this building. So your Stuart tanks or light tanks would have been using this 37mm round. This is the armor-piercing version. This, though, is canister. So if you really want to make some dismounted infantry go away, this is what you'd fire at them. Pretty much a 37mm shotgun. The 57mm would have been used by your M1 anti-tank gun, which we have one down at the end of the hall. And this is your Sherman's M61 armor-piercing ballistic capped round. So this would have been your primary armor-piercing round for the Sherman tank going into the later stage of World War II. Initially, we just had an armor-piercing round, but this performs better. So this is actually a 3-part round. The first part, which is this nose cone, makes the round more aerodynamic, so it travels through the air better, with better velocity, more accurate. As soon as it hits the tank, this actually just pops off. And then you have a softer metal top on it. And what that does is, since it's soft metal, provides a good contact surface for the round. When it hits the steel, it's hitting it dead on instead of ricocheting off. And then you have the steel slug essentially on the end. And this could actually have an explosive charge inside it, so that once it penetrated, blows up completely. You have the 76mm version of the exact same round. So as you can see, this gives a good representation of why the 76 is, it's not really 1mm off as far as caliber. It's really just to designate that this is more of a 75 Magnum. And that's really good. This is your 3-inch round that you would have seen on your M10 tank destroyer and your 3-inch anti-tank gun. Your 105 Sherman would have used this as the high explosive round. So this is the primary round for the 105 assault Sherman. And then finally, the big sluggers. We have our 90mm that your M36 would have used, your M26 Pershing. And then for comparison, as you probably over, this is our armor-piercing round for your 88 for the Tiger 1. So that kind of shows you how early on how much the Sherman was outgunned, especially in North Africa. You can see the differences there. Anyone have any questions?
How much larger was the 88 round on the, was it the L71, the long barrel 88, or was it the same round?
No, so it's a different round. So the question was, how much different was the 88 round in the King Tiger than the Tiger 1, essentially? Same round being fired, but the casing is actually about that much longer. It's extremely massive. I mean, it probably stands about here. We do have one that was fired actually in World War II, but those are so rare I don't bring that over here just in case.
Yeah, understandably.
But no, it's the Magnum version of this. It's even bigger than that. So yeah, it just gives you kind of an idea of how much more powerful the L70 was.
Excellent. So some people had some questions earlier about
sure.
the so we have our 105mm. This is a high explosive round.
Yes.
So this is, a lot of people think, especially with games like World of Tanks, that you have tanks versus tanks. But with our Shermans, a lot of that was actually support role stuff. So we have indirect fire and things like that. So
in fact,
how
we can actually go across here. We actually have one of those 105 Shermans, and just use it as backdrops. You can look at. Of course, when you see the 105 gun, you see the larger caliber. You can see the rifling so clear. You would think that this would be a more powerful adversary on the battlefield. But the truth is, the way that gun's designed, you have to look at how the ballistics work. When you compare the 105 to the 75. The way a high explosive gun like this works is you want it to have a nice slow velocity, because as the round travels slowly, it tends to rise more and then drops more. And you want that, because if your gun shoots too much at a higher velocity, the round will skip before exploding, and you don't want that. You want to plunge in, explode, destroy everything around it, and that's what this was designed for originally. Knock it out, emplacements, machine gun nests. This was designed to make blockages to advances disappear. Its secondary role was also in serving as new fire support vehicles, the field artillery for the tank battalions as well. And honestly, I think they probably got used more for that than was originally designed for. Tank battalion commanders loved the capability of having an field artillery battalion. So no, this was not designed for fighting other tanks. It could in a pinch. I'm sure there were instances of it, but that's not what Dr. Lange's vehicle was designed for.
would the 105 have a higher gun elevation than the 75?
Yeah, and that was one of the things is that they needed to. That was actually the initial problem they had, was how do they get that gun in this tank to fit its recoil system, because it was all based on the earlier 105, the Toad 105. They had to completely modify the system to the M4 Howitzer. That's what that's officially called, M4 Howitzer. And that's why you can see, if you look at the gun shield, completely different, more rounded, to allow it to do that. And of course, as you can see, it also has bigger apertures. This is for the coax, and then on the other side, much bigger aperture for the sight system for artillery lane. But you would be using a gunner's quadrant on the gun breech. You'd be told by a fire direction officer what angle your gun would have to be at to shoot a particular target at a determined range. You'd use that gunner's quadrant in there beside the gunner to determine the angle of fire. And you'd have your ballistics table. So if you're at this angle, this is the range you're shooting at. And it's a two-piece ammunition system. Really, you'd actually have powder bags in the casing. Pretty heavy round. I could imagine slugging those around all day.
Thank you guys for watching my video. This live stream was of a great open house over at the National Armor and Cavalry Collection. For more information from them, especially when the next open houses are, go ahead and follow their social media, which are in the links down below. Special thanks to Rob Cogan for the time, and as well to his team for the effort in setting up this event for everybody. It's an absolute treat to attend. I do most of my tank and tank event live streams over at twitch.tv. The links for that are also down below. So if you dig tanks and you like this video, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.